Kalil. You guys all know me. Um, and I don't know how to do intros, but I'm just gonna kind of pick up where I left off because you just totally put me on the spot. But so I came into the business in January of 2014. So I've been coaching now for over 3.5 years, which literally sounds insane to me because for me, I still feel like I'm on day one, and I almost treat every single day in my business as if it's the very first day I started. To me, it's never been, I got to a certain point and then I stopped. It's not been about I hit a certain rank and then I'm just done doing what I'm doing, because I still am always having these bigger goals and these bigger visions for my family. And that's honestly what I'm going to talk a lot about, is kind of setting that vision for yourself and how you can use this opportunity to get you to that place. And that's been a huge driving force for my business. So some of you probably might not have even known who I am. And that's because, like Noelle said, like, I'm very quiet. And it's funny because I feel like if you meet me in person, I'm the complete opposite. I'm very like outgoing and I just want to talk to everybody and all that stuff. But very much in social media aspect, I tend to be more quiet. I came into this business, guys, and I came into it you are my friend, and I think I treat everyone as if they are my like best friends. I never want to put myself on a pedestal, and I never want any of you to put me on that pedestal either, because we're all at the same level playing field. And that's literally how I treat every single one, whether you just started like yesterday or whether you've been in this business for 5.5 years. Everyone to me is the same, because everyone is going to achieve certain things. And it gets so hard in this business when on Thursdays comes today and we see people rank advancing and we see people getting recognized for all these incredible things. And then we kind of sit back and we're like, well, I'm not good enough because I haven't achieved any of that stuff that they've achieved. And the first and foremost thing that I need to tell you guys, and I need you to understand, is that that's not true. You are 100% successful in every single way that you want to be. So when I came into the business, guys, I didn't start this to become a 15-star diamond coach. I didn't start coaching to be a 5-star diamond coach. I didn't know what it was really to hit Success Club for the first 10 months of my business. I also didn't come into the business to be a Success Club All-Star or All-Star Legend. Those were things that I learned about this business as I got into it more. I mainly came into this business for two things: was to potentially find something that actually worked health and fitness wise, because my backstory is I tried literally everything out there that has never worked and that I've never stuck to. Right. So that was like my first thing, was like, if I can actually make it through T25, which is 10 weeks, by the way, which I feel like people nowadays get it way too easy because they don't get that. My dog's going to bark in 5 seconds. And I apologize. It's so loud. I just can't help it. My husband just got home. So I'm like anticipating her bark. Okay, she just left. Like, there we go. Sorry, guys. So the second reason why I came into this, or I was intrigued by this business, was the freedom. So the potential to actually make an income and do something for my family, like kind of give back to my family, contribute to our bills and stuff like that. Because as a military spouse, I had a really hard time finding a job. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat that at all. We did 3 moves in about 2.5 years. And I found out really quickly that if you said that your husband works for the military, a lot of jobs would kind of turn the other way. Which is totally illegal, but it's something people just do and you can't get around it. And having a college degree and having a background in business, I felt for myself that I was applying for jobs way beneath what I should have been doing. Like, I didn't feel like I was being appreciated for my hard work and the money that I just spent on college, which was over $100,000. So the fact that I could potentially make an income while having a flexible schedule with my husband's schedule, because if you're in military, like, there's just no set schedule. Like, it's so random. So that to me was like, oh my God, that would be a dream to me. Like, that would literally be my life. So every single day, like, I showed up for my business for those two reasons. And I used the rings as benchmarks. If I hit this rank, that means that I'm doing something. I'm getting closer to that bigger goal. If I hit diamond, I'm getting closer to that freedom, that financial freedom that I want. Or I'm getting closer to that 250 weekly paycheck mark, right? Like, I'm using that as benchmarks to get to where I want to go. 2-star, and that's literally how I use rank and I still use rank that way, rank in that form, hidden 2-star. What did that mean to me? That meant I was becoming a leader, and that meant to me that I had people that wanted this business just as much as I wanted this business, and they saw the vision that I saw too, if not more. And that's the stuff that I was always looking for. Just to kind of like throw some more examples out at you guys so you can kind of really understand, because this call is 100% going to be about vision and what it means to you, because my vision can be very different from what your vision is. A lot of people I think I have this talk with Noelle several times, and I'll ask her, what's motivating to you? Is it rank or is it income? Which one do you want more? Which one is more significant to you? Because there's no wrong answer. You just have to figure out for yourself what's going to drive you every single day. For me, it was 100% the income. But I have coaches on my team that was 100% motivated by rank and recognition. And that is the thing that literally drives them. It's almost like it's a race for them. Like, they have to get it, and that's just makes them feel successful. So I'm going to ask you guys, which one is the game changer for you and for your business? For me, like I said, it was the income, and I needed that. So what did that mean for me? Rank is really kind of not easy, but you have a set in stone way of how you can achieve rank. You know what you need to do in order to achieve diamond. You need 8 personally sponsored coaches, and you need 2 emeralds on each leg. So an emerald is 2 personally sponsored on their leg or on their team, 2 personally sponsored on another team, right? On opposite legs. You have a map of exactly how to do that. Like, that's very laid out for you. Same with 2-star. If you're pushing for a star diamond, you know exactly what you need to do in order to achieve that, right? So income definitely comes harder because there's no path for us to do or to create in order to make the income. But I remember very vividly, I followed our top coaches in our own network, Keith Callahan, Bob Lucido. If you guys don't know them, Keith Callahan is Liz Harkey's upline. He's been in the business for, I think, 6 years now, and he became $1 million earner in less than 4 years. And that to me was astonishing. The fact that somebody could accumulate $1 million in 4 years or less, like, that's just unheard of, right? And so I kind of set this crazy goal for myself, whereas I want to do that. I want to be $1 million earner in this business, because my background and who I was before, like, that just wasn't in the path for me. Like, there was no reason why I should be making $1 million. And so how did I do that? I started to share my vision. I shared where I wanted to go with this business right off from as a brand new coach. I hear all the time new coaches tell me that they're not making a certain amount of income, so they can't share that. That's false. Get that from your memory. If you made $40 in 1 week, celebrate that. Why? Because someone else doesn't have that $40 extra that you just earned, right? I'll never forget when I had to go to the commissary, the grocery store that's like on military bases, that's a little bit cheaper, and you don't pay tax. I had to use a credit card because we didn't get paid yet in the military, and I didn't have money we literally did not have money in our account, right? So when I first made my $100 bill to pay for my groceries, hell yes, I was celebrating that so much, because that was huge for me in my life. Like, what that meant to me was incredible. The fact that I could pay our cable bill for that month. Like, that's unheard of. That was something that I didn't have 6 months ago that now I was able to share with people, right? So, and I know a lot of people kind of get icky with money because there's certain ways that you can share it. If you share it with heart and if you share it with inspiration, it will never come out icky, guys. Like, let's get over the fact that money is a bad thing. Money is a really freaking good thing to have, right? Money basically kind of makes the world go round. If we don't have it, and if you haven't read this book, hold on. If you haven't read this book, you're a badass at making money, and you're someone that like really needs this financially, pick up that book and read it, because it will 100% change your perspective on money. And I'm getting super sidetracked, but I want to get back on track to kind of where I was going. So setting these really big goals for yourself and having a vision of what you want your life to look like, and knowing that Beachbody can be the vehicle to get you there. So what are some examples of that? For me, I wrote on my vision board. My vision board's very bland right now, so I'm not going to show it to you. But when I first started coaching, on my vision board, I put very specific goals that I wanted to achieve within my first 1 to 3 years of my business. One of them was become a 6-figure earner. One was pay off my student loan debt. One was buy a brand new car off of the lot. And my biggest one was to buy a house within the next 5 years. My first year in the business, my first 2 years, I became a 6-figure earner, like yearly. I now make that every single year, which is like insane to me. We were able to literally drive a brand new Ford Explorer 2015 off of the lot, my first year of coaching. What else did I say? I forgot what I said. There was another one in there. Oh, the biggest one. Noelle typing that I forgot. What the biggest one, and it's not the house. My biggest goal that I had set for myself was to pay off my student loan debt. Guys, student loans was like I felt like I couldn't breathe so much because of how much I was paying for my student loans. And in December 2015, I just put it out there to the world that I was going to pay off $32,000 in student loan debt. I had no plan how the hell I was going to do that. I wasn't making the money then. I just put that out into the universe, and I believed, and I knew if I did the daily disciplines of what this business is and the core value of what this business is, that I would get there, right? So inviting every single day to challenge groups and business opportunities, being proof that these products work, doing personal development, recognizing, and I always kind of throw one in there, is Hidden Success Club. I did those things every single day, and I gave myself a year to pay off my student loans. I was freaking able to do it in 10 months because of this business. Do you know how incredible that was to freaking call them and be like, hey, I'm making my last payment now. Like, see you never. Like, bye, Mavian or Sally Mae or whoever you are. That was literally the biggest thing. And the last one was my buying our house, which was something we chose not to buy a house in the military because we wanted to wait and because we moved so much. And literally in April, Woody and I just bought our dream house, like our absolute dream house. So when I'm talking about, where's your vision? Like, you have to get so much bigger than the minimum, like the bare surface. Like, you need to sit down and you need to figure out, where do you see yourself 3 years from now? Start small. Where do you see yourself at the end of this year? What is life going to look like? And when you achieve those things, how is it going to make you feel? Those are some things that I always hone in on. And so the challenge now, and it is 100% a challenge, is figuring out how I want my life to look in the next 2 years. And it freaks me out 100% to think about what's going to happen, but to potentially start a family and know that I'll never have to leave my house. Like, I'll never have to send my baby to daycare. That to me is so empowering. And so I use Beachbody to get me to that point, right? Obviously I don't have to leave for work, but money is a big thing for that. I don't have to stress about putting my baby into daycare. Daycare is so expensive from what I hear, right? I'll never have to miss out on my baby's like first steps or crawls or words. Like those things now are the things that like really fire me up. The fact that I was able to potentially retire my husband at the age of 28, guys. Like, can you imagine giving that gift to somebody? Like someone really close to you. Someone, if your husband's in the military, or if your significant other is like at a job that they absolutely hate and they're just miserable every day. Imagine for 1 second, you go up to them and you say, hey, guess what? I worked really hard in my business for like 2 to 3 years and you don't have to go to work anymore if you don't want to. The choice is yours. Can you like, do you know how incredible that is to give that to somebody? Like that is powerful, to be able to give that to somebody else. So when I talk about vision and when I talk about what do you want out of life, like what is it that's going to drive you every single day? Is it those moments that you can give to somebody else? Is it the moments that you can like afford things for yourself? Is it the recognition that you're going to get from Beachbody being recognized on stage in front of 25,000 people? Like, what is it for you that's going to motivate you and drive you to the point where every single day, no matter what, you show up to this business? Because I'm living proof that if you just show up every single day, and when you get to certain points, this is really important. When I became a 6-figure earner, or when I became a 4-star diamond coach, and when I made $5,000 in 1 week, I very much well could have stopped this business and I could have stopped doing everything I was doing, because at the end of the day, my business is going to still grow. I'm still going to get a paycheck and it's still going to be a lot of money every single week, right? But for me, I never feel like I'm ahead of people. I never put myself higher than anyone else. I'm always showing up as if it's the first day. Like, you have to set goals for yourself that you're almost racing against yourself every single day. You should hate the beginning of every single month, because Hidden Success Club should freaking scare you and annoy you. Because if it doesn't, then you're too comfortable, right? Every single month, I call it the early or beginning of the month blues, because we work so hard the entire month before to hit Success Club. By the time the first comes, we're like exhausted because we've worked really hard like the last 3 days of the month to really lock in our goals, right? And then we wait. But you should have that feeling. That means that you're constantly being challenged in your business, right? Show of hands. And I want you guys to be completely honest. How many of you show up and do your power hour every single day? Imagine, and like, it's fine, because I probably didn't when I first started. I saw you. Oh, go ahead.
I don't do it every single day. Anyway. On the weekends, I don't.
And that's fine. I don't show up and do my business on the weekends either. And I just had this conversation actually with another coach. And she was very shocked when I told her that I don't work on the weekends. I post, and that's it. If people message me, I'll respond. But I don't invite on the weekends. And here's the reason why. I was a waitress for 8 years, and I had to give up my weekends for 8 years. So the fact that I was able to find this opportunity where I never had to work weekends, yeah, I don't work weekends. And I will be 100% honest with you. But I'm talking like Monday through Friday, showing up to your business. So I ask you guys this: if you have this big goal and you have this big vision, bigger than yourself, bigger than anything else that you could ever imagine, if I told you by showing up to your business every single day, Hidden Success Club every single month, that you could achieve it, would you show up to your business every single day? Probably, right? I hope if your goal and your vision is that big, you're going to show up to it, right? So it comes down to figuring out what it means to you. And that's a really annoying statement, because we always just want the answer. And the truth is that there's no answer. The answer is doing the work and showing up every Monday through Friday consistently, inviting people every single day, getting over that fear of what people might think of what you're doing, right? I just had this conversation with my cousin. She doesn't want to start her makeup tutorial because she's petrified of what people might think about her. Do you know how insanely ridiculous that sounds? Being afraid of what people might think. You're already put in that pre-notion that people are going to, that they might think something different of you. Guess what? They're not going to. If you're changing your life and if you're inspiring people and with your heart, people are going to support you. And if they don't support you, guess what? You don't need those people in your life, because all they're going to do is just bring you down. My family, guys, was the hardest critics when I started this business. Like, still to this day, my uncle gives me shit all the time. And I literally had to message him and I said, if you don't support me, can you please just like stop freaking commenting on my Facebook post? Like, it's really obnoxious, because he has this awful sense of humor and no one else understands it. Guess what? He just bought Shakeology from me last month. I'm not even kidding you. 3.5 years I have dealt with him harassing me, and in May he bought Shakeology from me. Don't stop. Ignore the people that could potentially not give a crap about it yet. They'll come around. Everybody does. So that was kind of the main thing. I just want to check and see if I answered. Noelle, did I kind of answer everything?
No, you did. And it's really good to hear your honesty and everything. The thing that I really want, that I think my team needs to hear, is because we have new coaches have been around, coaches have hit Success Club, but just haven't done it consistently. And so I think a big problem that my team has is finding a way to fit their business in their already busy lives. And, that is something that, I've adapted, but I would like to hear from you how you do your business, how you work your business.
So if you're pressed for time, and that's something I do struggle with because I do have all the time to do this. So I'm very lazy when it comes to actually like kind of doing my power hours and stuff. Like I spread them out and it takes me like all day because I do things whatever, I'm dragging along. But if you're pressed for time, there's like 3 things that I've kind of narrowed down to be the absolute most important things in your business that you should do every day, no matter what. And when I say every day, I mean Monday through Friday, because again, I don't do that stuff on Saturdays and Sundays, is invite people. So something that I do is I cold invite people. I kind of do it backwards. I skip the foreman process first and I send out my invite right away. That way, if that person messages back to me, then I start my foreman process. So that to me just is a huge time saver. And that's something that I've been doing literally for 2 years now, is I send a message to anybody that's liked, commented, or posted on any of my social media posts. I'll go through and I'll kind of skim people's Facebooks and see if, they might be interested. I definitely keep an eye out when people post about gyms and stuff like that. And I just send when I first started, because this was really scary for me, I sent 3 messages every single day because I was really scared to send a message, right? Like, I sent them a message and then I ran away from my computer screen because I thought they were going to like kill me or something. Nope. I just hit Success Club every single month from doing that. So cold inviting or inviting into a challenge group and then posting on social media, hands down, the 2 most important things to do in your business. So I have a kind of calendar in my mind that I follow when I post. And I'm constantly switching between challenge group and coach opportunity kind of posts. So the way I do it is Sunday, I typically will post about coach and opportunity. So I think about the average human out there, they're having their Sunday blues, like getting ready to go to work the next day and get ready for their day. So I'm talking about how I love coaching somehow. Or how coaching has affected my life, or how I actually don't have to go and run into work the next day, right? Monday is either another opportunity post or a challenge group post, kind of depends on how I feel. Tuesday is always a transformation / invite to a challenge group. So whether I'm talking about myself and a struggle that I've had or something that kind of I feel for that week, but I'm talking about inviting people into my challenge groups for that night. Wednesday is typically like my random ass day where I will either I typically do like a challenge group, or I try to get people engaged where I ask a question on Facebook, because at the end of the day, you want people to be engaging in your social media. So you want people to, engage, like ask them questions like, oh, I'm going here. The biggest one, I'm going to New Orleans next week. If you're going to Super Saturday, what are some of your favorite things to do in New Orleans? Or, what was the big one? One of the ones I did was huge was I don't watch I was like, I feel like I'm the only person that doesn't watch The Bachelor or Bachelorette. Literally got like 100 comments of people telling me that they didn't watch it, which is great because I don't actually care who watches it, but it got people to my page, right, to engage with me. So that's like usually Wednesday's like my fun one. Who's on the show? Team. See, I don't even know what that is. I'm like clueless with that. Thursdays again is a transfer or throwback Thursdays. Typically, no, I don't do throwback Thursdays. I do another coach opportunity post on Thursdays. So when I talk about coach opportunity posts, I'm leaving nuggets about how this opportunity has changed my life. So I have like 5 different things that I kind of always talk about, and I'm always posting it because the way I think of it as Thursdays, we're coming right up to the weekend. People usually love Thursdays because, they're getting ready for the fun time in the weekend. So I'm sharing something about that. Fridays is my fun days, again, where I post about, usually like what I'm doing that day. For some reason, my husband gets a bajillion likes whenever I post with him. So it's usually when I post with him. And that's kind of the schedule that I follow. So I'm constantly talking about coaching as an opportunity, and I'm talking about challenge groups every single week. And I'm putting it out there for people. So that and inviting is, if you have 5 minutes of your day, like that's what you should do.
You said 3 things. Is that like the 2 inviting direct, like invite to your challenge group and invite to coaching? Is that you said 3 things you got to do every day?
And personal development. Sorry. Because if you're not growing yourself, guys, you're never going to grow as a person. And I can speak to this. I'll try to talk about this super fast. I know we're coming short on time, but I almost took like 6 months at least off from personal development just because I thought I got to a place in my business where I didn't need it anymore. And guess what? I never struggled so hard in my business within those 6 months. And it was really hard for me to kind of get back into the swing of reading a personal development book. But because I read, and it's also great content that's going to help you come up with social media posts. Like if you're ever stumped on what you should talk about, I guarantee you're not doing your personal development, because every single day you should get some kind of lesson about what's going on in your life or how you can relate that back to your social media world, right? So making sure that you carve out, whether you read, whether you do a podcast, whatever it is, get something inside of your brain that's going to help you grow, that's going to challenge you, that's going to make you think differently than the average person. Because that's 100% what personal development has done for me. Like, completely changed my life. The way I think now is not even close to the way that I used to think before, right? Because I put myself in other situations where I can learn and really think about how life should be nowadays. Like, so definitely highly suggest, like, you have to, like, if you want to reach your goals, and I never say you have to do anything in this business, but if you want to reach your goals and you want to get to that bigger picture of what your life is going to look like, you have to do those things, and you have to show up and do it.
Thank you so much, Rachel. We have 5 minutes left. Does anyone have any questions from this wonderful wealth of knowledge?
Also, I'm going to cut in. When I talk about, like, putting a goal on your mind, I talk about, like, I become obsessed with it. So something that I'm really pushing for is 7-star qualifying. I have these stupid sticky notes everywhere in my house right now because I'm constant, and I'm not a rank driven person. So this is really hard for me. And this is literally what I had to do for myself, because when I set myself a smaller goal, that's going to get me to the bigger vision that I have at the end of the year. This right here is a benchmark to get me there. So growing our team to a 7-star team, that is my goal. That is the only thing that I've been thinking about for the past month, is getting that there. I become so obsessed with my goals to the point I dream about them. The first thing I do when I wake up is I'm literally thinking about that goal throughout the entire day. I'm constantly like, it's on my mind of who's going to be that next person that helps me get there. Who am I going to help today? How many people am I going to reach out to? I engulf myself in my goals. When I wanted to hit Success Club, or if I was like at the end of the month and I'm not at my Success Club goals, I don't think about anything else in my business except for hitting Success Club. Like, I literally become so obsessed with the thought, and the only thing I'll do in my business is invite people, because I know if I invite people, that's going to get me closer to helping them reach their goals and helping them with it, getting started on a challenge pack. So when you do this stuff and when you think about your vision and where you want your life to be, like even your goals for this month, write down what's the most important to you and just become so obsessed with it to the point that that's all you think about, and then watch it happen. Put it out there. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your team, tell everyone. Everybody that's around me knows right now that I want to be a 7-star qualifying team, because what that means to me is so much bigger than who I am. It's a huge challenge and it's freaking scary, but I absolutely know that we can do it. It's going to be hard and it's going to be stressful, but it's a challenge and it's going to make me grow as a person. And I literally have these sticky notes like hanging everywhere, guys, like in the bathroom, everywhere. So when I talk about becoming obsessed, like, you have to just live it, feel it, breathe it, want it so bad, but you have to know why you want it to. Like, have that bigger reason as to what it means to you. I hope that was helpful, Noelle.
I love your passion, and it just reminds me that, like, I can't wait for Summit. I can't wait for Summit, because, like, that feeling, that fire, I mean, you walk away. Honestly, I've told this to my coaches before. I'm like, you walk away either wanting this more or realizing it's not for you, and I think that's totally okay. Because it's just like when it comes to when you invite someone to be in your challenge group, you just want to know yes or no. But I can guarantee that fire is real, and I can't wait to be burned.
It's a feeling that you simply just cannot describe. I can talk to you guys till I'm blue in my face about wanting this business and about success and about, you know, what I've done, but until you kind of hone in on what you want and where you want to go, like, it's not going to click until you get that feeling, that excitement.
Yeah. Rachel's the reason why I went to Summit 2 years ago. I remember messaging her, why did you go to Summit? So lame, but.
Is it worth it? It's like, yes.
Well, thank you so much, Rachel. And you guys, if you have any questions, like, message her, because she's awesome and she wants to see us flourish. And I'm so thankful for you being here. So.
Yay. So happy getting to see you guys. And yes, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message. I'm always really good at getting back to you within like 10 minutes, because I'm always on my phone.
All right. See you guys. Thank you, Rachel.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.